Alright, okay. Welcome back to a segment that I like to call Maly Explains the Plot of 3 Movies at Once. This is a brand new segment that I just decided on. As we always do when I do this segment every single time I've done it, which is so far before the 0, counting this the 1. I always have a thing that I'm drinking, and on this episode I'm drinking the Sighting Rosé from Columbia Valley. Isn't that exciting? So you can tell that I'm a very smart and fancy artist that knows what I'm talking about, because I don't talk about movies until I've had my wine. So there you go. I've got my wine, so now you can trust everything that I'm going to say is very smart. And I know what I'm talking about. So, so here it is. Here's the plot of the movie. So it was the 1974 Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, and then the 1993 Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, and then the 2002 Godzilla X Mechagodzilla. So that was the comboovie, right? So here's what we ended up finding out. So in the original, the 74 movie, you've got this false Godzilla that rises from the depths of hell, being like under the control of a bunch of demons, right? And then they like come up against the guardian of hell, which is Anguirus. They're like guarding the gates, the ghost Anguirus, right? And so they're trying to leave, and they kill Anguirus, and then they keep going. And so then they meet the actual Godzilla, who tears their skin off and reveals they were a fake the whole time. So they're just a robot from hell, right? And then and then King Shazar shows up, and okay, so the fake, after confronting Godzilla, the fake dies, and then if you're a robot that dies in hell, you go to regular life, right? And then so they have to awaken King Shazar so King Shazar can resurrect Godzilla, who died because of the Oxygen Destroyer, right? And then you've got, so that's the past. And then in the present, you've got the robot that has Godzilla's soul in it, right? So they have Ghost Godzilla, and then they turn that into a weapon so that it can fight the real Godzilla who came back in time, right? So this is the grown-up version of the Godzilla Christ from the future. So they fight, and they try to use machines to control the soul of Godzilla, but it doesn't work, right? And then so in the one that's in the future, you have the birth of the baby Godzilla Christ, and then the fake Godzilla, which has now become a real Godzilla all the way through. Like, it's a biological Godzilla, but it was like the skin took it over, or like the soul took it over, or whatever it was. And so now that's a fake Godzilla. And then they fight the ghost of Rodan, and it's a whole fucking thing. And then it tries to kill the baby Godzilla Christ before it can go back in time and like defeat itself in the future. But then the robot from the future, which was engineered using the technology of the fallen angel Cyberdemon, which is Mecha King Ghidorah, and they take that and then they build their robot, which is, what did I write down? What did I write it as? What if Godzilla Christ is a robot from the future, is what I wrote. So then that happens, and so basically it's a big cycle. Godzilla is born and then becomes the savior of the thing that is his cyberized corpse. His cyberized ghost corpse from the future is versus him in the past, which is a grown-up version of his younger self, which is from the future, but then went back into the past to kill himself when he was older, right? And so he's the Godzilla Christ, and he goes back in time and he fights the fake Godzilla, who then later ends up becoming a real Godzilla, who then falls to the forces of hell in order to defeat Godzilla, the robot Godzilla Christ from the future. And also, Sarah is a pre-incarnation of the Godzilla Christ, so you know, it all makes sense if you think about it. And so that is the plot of Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla X Godzilla, also X Mechagodzilla rather, also known as Ghost Godzilla versus Cyberdemon Godzilla. So yeah, it all makes sense. I mean, if you don't get it, you're probably just like stupid because you aren't a smart person who drinks wine like I am. But I'm a smart person and I drink wine, which means I probably know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that does it for this episode of I Explain the Plot of 3 Movies at Once. And just letting you know that today's long is doing it wrong. Okay, and that is my official sign off for this segment. Okay, so bye.